I haven't really talked about it. Hi guys! So today I am doing my 6-month Spironolactone update. I cannot believe it's been 6 months already. That's so crazy. It went so slow in the beginning because I felt like it wasn't working, but my skin has not been this good ever, except for maybe when I was born. But since I've had acne, my skin has not looked this clear. And mind you, it's not perfect, and I'll show you at the end, but I don't get like crazy breakouts anymore, and it's so freaking awesome. So today is August 2nd, and I started taking Spironolactone on February 2nd. So it's exactly 6 months, and that kind of calculates to, I think, 25 weeks because there's one more week in some months, I believe, but it comes out to about 25 and a half weeks. But 6 months total, which is crazy because this is where I thought that I'd probably stop taking it, and I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't really want to go see the doctor right now just because it's money that I don't want to spend. So I'm either going to maybe start weaning myself off, but I'm also leaning towards keeping on it for a little while longer, maybe a year, maybe 8 months. I don't know. I think I might go. I'm definitely going to try and see my doctor before the end of the year. But I wanted to give you guys a 6-month update on the day, so I'm recording it, editing it, and posting it today. I know, and I'm really sorry, I know I have missed about 6 weeks of updates. I really apologize for that. Everything has just been so crazy and fun and hectic since the wedding. We've traveled, I ran a half marathon, I've been working, we got a little second side job to make some extra money, and so I'm really sorry. I know I was doing so good at updating you guys every week, but to be completely honest, the last 6 weeks well, let's say the last 3 weeks haven't really changed that much, so I'm doing it now. All right, so I kind of have a lot to talk about. I took notes. I've been taking notes at least for the last 6 weeks on my phone so I can update you guys. Now, I know in the beginning, one of my first videos, I was talking about how I was craving pickles, which is kind of an odd thing, but it's really not. I actually looked it up because I started craving pickles again, and even more so, like tenfold. And it's more of the pickle juice that I've been craving. So I've been eating these pickles a lot. I love spicy food. And they're like spicy pickles, and they're from Smith's, and they're the Kroger brand, and they have no artificial flavors, preservatives, synthetic dyes, high fructose corn syrup. So I love these. I literally grab a fork and I'll eat like 6 of them, and then I drink the juice. And I was craving the pickle juice so much that I even made pickled eggs, which I know isn't everybody's thing, but I really like pickled things, and I like vinegar, and I like the taste of it. Maybe I'm weird, I don't know. But the pickled eggs, I even boiled an egg and took this pickle juice and I put the egg inside, and it was so freaking good. But to each their own, right? I also have started eating these ones, and they're hot and sweet, but they're like the little sandwich ones, if you can see that. And they're from Smith's too. They're the Kroger brand, same brand, but they're hot and sweet. Let's get into the little information that I found on why I have been craving pickle juice, or at least why I think I've been craving pickle juice. What I found was that common reasons for craving pickles include dehydration, which I know I'm not dehydrated because I drink a ton of water, Addison's disease, which I don't know too much about that, I didn't look too much into that, or electrolyte imbalances, which, looking back into Spironolactone, it says this medication may also cause dizziness, lightheadedness, and your levels of electrolytes such as potassium, sodium, and chloride in the blood to change. So it can cause those electrolytes to change. And I do know that when you're taking Spironolactone, you shouldn't have a bunch of extra potassium. So that's kind of the information that I found. I thought I was just weird and craving pickle juice, but I'm pretty sure there's a link. I mean, like I said, I've always liked pickles and things like that, and sometimes I get on these kicks of things, but I've also been craving salt. And the other day I bought a box of saltine crackers, and I ate a whole sleeve for breakfast. I know it's not very good for you, we're all human, right? But I know that it's probably a side effect because I have some sort of deficiencies from taking the spironolactone. But fortunately for me, pickle juice is actually pretty good for you. I mean, too much of anything isn't good for you, but pickle juice has some health benefits that I was reading. It can soothe muscle cramps. They actually have pickle pops that I kind of wanted to try. I know this is kind of a little weird, but they're popsicles and they're pickle juice, and you freeze them and then you eat them, and a lot of people eat them like post-workout because it helps relieve your muscles and relax your muscles. And it also says they help you stay hydrated. It's a fat-free recovery aid. It contains antioxidants. It may support weight loss. It helps control blood sugar levels, and it boosts gut health, which is awesome. So, I mean, at least I'm not craving something super unhealthy. I know that the intake of salt is probably not the best, but I am staying safe with it. So are any of you guys that are taking spironolactone craving pickles or other weird things? Let me know in the comments down below. Okay, so another thing that I noticed that I kind of touched on when talking about the pickles is I did start to get pretty dizzy for like a week or two, especially when I stood up. I would just, like, my vision would kind of get a little bit, I don't know how to explain it. You know how when you go into a dark room from outside and you like see spots everywhere? That's what was happening to me. And so I started to drink more water, and I looked it up, and a deficiency of electrolytes can cause dizziness, and drinking the pickle juice actually really helped with that, and drinking lots of water and drinking things with electrolytes in it like Gatorade and Mio, Powerade, and things like that. Another thing that I've been noticing is, and not now, but about 2 or 3 weeks before my last period. So it was closer to the period before that. But anyway, in between periods, normally I'll get like really sore, tender boobs. And that's just a part of knowing that my period is coming. But it was happening for like 3 weeks straight. And I think that that had to do with the birth control and my body kind of reacting to it a little bit. But it didn't change the intensity of my actual period or when my cycle was supposed to happen. It didn't change the scheduling of it. It just changed, like, I had mood swings like crazy. My poor husband. And I normally get mood swings PMSing, that's just how it goes, but this was like more so, and my boobs were just sore for a while, longer than they normally are. And so I almost stopped taking the birth control, but then after this last period, it just went back to normal and I'm totally fine. So I actually just started last week. I started my 5th packet of birth control. And like I said, I don't want to be taking medication forever. It takes a lot for me to even just take an ibuprofen because I don't like to take medication, but I also don't like acne, so I don't want it to just come rushing back. So I think that what's gonna happen is I'm gonna start to taper off, and maybe I'll taper off the birth control first. And I guess you can't really taper off birth control. You kind of just stop when your packet of pills is gone. So maybe I'll do that first, and then I'm still taking 100 milligrams of spironolactone every day. So 50 in the morning and 50 at night, and maybe I'll just slow it down to 75 and then 50 and then 25 and then just be done with it. But I don't know when I'm going to do that. So for those of you guys taking spironolactone, how long have you been taking it? How long do you plan on taking it? How long has your doctor told you to be on it? Leave your comments down below. Another thing that I wanted to touch on that I haven't really talked about it. So another thing that I wanted to touch on that I haven't really talked about too much is dermaplaning. So I've had acne 6 months ago, and I've had it for 9 years. I've struggled with it off and on. It's gotten worse. It's gone up and down and gone through phases. But my skin hasn't been this clear, and I do know that dermaplaning, and for those of you that don't know what dermaplaning is, it's when they take a surgical blade and they just like kind of shave your face basically. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt at all. They like kind of just scrape all the peach fuzz off of your face, and I had done that like 3 times, and it made my skin go nuts. I was getting all around here, and I know that I already had acne, so it was just making it crazy. It didn't do it on my forehead, but oh my gosh, I don't know what was happening. It just irritated my skin, and it was making them even bigger and inflamed, and I don't know what happened. So for me personally, I don't recommend dermaplaning. I loved the feeling afterwards of how smooth my face was, but for my skin, I don't recommend doing it. Maybe it's different for you. I'm not a doctor. I can't tell you what to do with your body and your skin. So if you try it and it works for you, that's awesome. That's great. But if it doesn't, then just be aware. Keep your eye out to see if that's something that may be affecting your skin that you're doing. It definitely affected mine in a negative way. So the last thing I wanted to talk about is so since my face is pretty clear now, it's not perfect, but it is as clear as I could ask for it to be. And I think that it's only getting better, but I still have scarring and hyperpigmentation, and luckily I don't have like the deep scarring, but I do have like the red marks on my cheeks and the hyperpigmentation. And so I'm thinking about getting a chemical peel probably next month at the end of September, because once you get a chemical peel, you're not supposed to be in the sun for about 10 days. And it's August, it's the beginning of August. It's like the hottest month of the year where I'm at, and it's summertime. And so I've got something planned outside, whether it be yard work or hanging out with friends or a baby's birthday party, all these different things over the weekends. And so I just decided that maybe I should push it out. But there are different intensity levels of getting a chemical peel, and I don't know what level I'm going to get. They have some where it looks like your face is just peeling off, but then you have all this new fresh skin underneath. And then they have some that are less intense, and it kind of just like flakes off. So maybe I'll do like one in between. I'm gonna go and get a consultation and see what they say. But I will keep you guys updated on that when I do get a chemical peel, if and when I get a chemical peel. So those of you that are in the same step as I am right now in the process of trying to get your skin smoothed out and not have the hyperpigmentation and scarring, maybe it'll help for you. For those of you that have gotten a chemical peel, again, leave your comments down below. What kind did you get? What was the strength? Did it work? How did your skin feel after? What was the maintenance? And do you recommend anything else for getting rid of scarring? I know some of you have recommended some creams and things like that, so maybe I'll look into those. So let's do a close-up of my skin now. Okay, so I just watched the footage that I recorded for you guys just now, and the close-up of my skin isn't the best, so I came outside so you could see it better in the daylight because it was a little bit dark inside. So hopefully it's not too bright now, but this is what my skin's looking like right now. You can kind of see some of the red scarring. Over here. It's a little bit worse on this side. I'm gonna be honest, I cannot see anything right now. The sun is right in my eyes. But I've got lots of freckles and sunspots. And then there was one right here, I think, that popped up this week. But honestly, that's the only one I've had in weeks, which is crazy. And the texture is really great. Like, it's not bumpy or anything. It's so crazy how amazing my skin feels to me right now. And that might not mean a lot to some people because some people have perfect skin, but to me this is basically perfect coming from what it was. So I'm so happy. That is what my skin is looking like on 6 months of Spironolactone and 4 months of birth control, Lucina birth control. And like I was saying, I do want to get something to kind of help smooth out the skin, because it's not just the hyperpigmentation and like the acne scars. Like you saw, I have tons of like freckles and sunspots and things like that that I'd like to get rid of. And every time I'm out in the sun, I always put on sunscreen. And even when I'm not out in the sun, I use a face moisturizer that has an SPF in it. It's so important, you guys, to take care of your skin. But ever since I was a kid, I mean, I just have these freckles that pop out in the sun, and technically they're sun damage. I mean, some of them I'm sure I was born with, but it just gets worse and worse over time. So I think that's all I have to talk about. I know it seems kind of a lot. This video is probably going on for a while, but like I said, I did miss 6 weeks of updating. And again, I'm so sorry for that, but hopefully this video gives you guys some hope, and just keep sticking with it. Again, I do want to say though that all of these side effects that I talked about are my experience and my story. And if you guys are experiencing side effects that are worrying you, please go talk to your doctor. I am not a doctor. Again, this is just my experience, and I'm hoping that it can help you guys out there who are taking spironolactone. Anyway, until next time, bye!